Chicago lined up salt trucks to block federal agents, man. Cute stunt, right? By surprise, the country answered. Crowds, arrests, raids, and receipts. Roll it.
Well, I guess the forecast in Chicago calls for snow. That's an awful lot of salt trucks. That's an awful lot of... I don't see this many salt trucks when it fucking snows. Blocking off Grant Park for the taste. Or something.
Yeah.
Well,
when the mayor turns city equipment into a political barricade, that's not sanctuary. That's obstruction optics, is it not? Taxpayer fuel, taxpayer drivers, not for public safety, just to send a message. You don't do this if you're confident in your policies. You do this when you're afraid the receipts are about to land. But while City Hall played road games, actual people in Chicago spoke louder than the trucks.
Struggle. They want to occupy Chicago. But every single day that they are here, they will learn lesson after lesson after lesson that we will resist and that we will win a revolution. And so the first lesson we have for them is from a local community organizer here in Lake County. Give it up for Jordan.
Illegals about to find out. Illegals about to find out. Yeah, man, that's the soundtrack. I gotta admit, the left, they're horrible when it comes to what they rally against, but they beats be on point. Now we gotta give them some credit where credit is due. Now we can't be biased. But that's the community saying protect our families. Not complicated. Elected people can't posture. Residents want order. And all of these people who are against order, gone. That's why I'm happy we had the anti-ICE protesters there, or anti-Trump protesters. Anywho, and order means investigations, right? With teeth. Y'all remember what happened in Georgia?
This has been a multi-month criminal investigation where we have developed evidence, conducted interviews, gathered documents, and presented that evidence to the court in order to obtain a judicial search warrant. Yesterday, we executed that search warrant and gathered additional evidence that will support this investigation. There are no criminal charges being announced today, but this is an ongoing matter. While we were on the premises, we did encounter many hundreds of individuals. Of those, as I previously mentioned, 475 were illegally present in the United States or...
Wow. I mean, even though we heard that number yesterday, it's still like, wow.
in violation of their presence in the United States, working unlawfully, who have entered through a variety of different means into the United States, some that illegally crossed the border into the United States, some that came in through visa waiver and were prohibited from working, some that had visas and overstayed their visas. And each individual was questioned on their status, their documents were checked, their backgrounds were checked, and ultimately through coordination of our experts and attorneys in the background, those that were found to be illegally present were then detained and turned over to ICE enforcement and removal operations custody. But this is all in furtherance of the ongoing investigation where we are looking at employment practices. We made seizures yesterday as part of that to gather additional evidence and conducted interviews and are continuing this ongoing investigation.
Multi-month criminal probe. Not a sweep for headlines. Search warrants, evidence seizures, and status checks. 475 in violation. Visa overstays. Waiver abuse, unlawful work. You've been told this is only mom and pop labor. Here's your correction. Here it is right here. Corporate demand fuels it. Enforce the law at the border and at the boardroom door. For those who ignore final orders, the bill arrives.
The screws are tightening for undocumented immigrants. The Trump administration is dusting off a rarely used law to hit thousands of migrants with hefty fines. The president wants them to pay up and get out. Investigative reporter Hilda Gutierrez joins us now with the exclusive story. Hilda.
These civil lawsuits were filed by Justice Department attorneys just this week. They were looking to collect more than $300,000 combined from two Bay Area immigrants accused of staying in the country after a judge ordered their removal. But immigration attorneys argue the penalties are excessive and unconstitutional. The notices from ICE showed up in June at a San Francisco apartment in the Mission and another in San Bruno. The letter stating two undocumented immigrants were being hit with hefty fines. The reason? For not leaving the country after a judge ordered their removal when they missed hearings in immigration court. One of them was given a deportation order in July of last year and now faces $300,000 in fines. The other missed her hearing this past March and owes more than $40,000.
So we are expecting to see a tsunami of people being penalized under these laws.
Merle Kahn is an attorney with the Immigrant Legal Resource Center in San Francisco. She said the Trump administration is using a 1997 law that's never been used by another U.S. president to target undocumented immigrants with major financial penalties.
Almost sounds similar to what Democrats did to him, except...
including fines of nearly $1,000 a day for failing to comply with a removal order.
I think the purpose is simply to sow terror in the immigrant community because it's so arbitrary.
And the illegal, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not going to pause continuously, but...
so capricious and trying to collect hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars from them when they have no assets. They don't have a house in Los Gatos or Saratoga. They're cleaning the houses in Los Gatos and Saratoga.
In a June press release announcing an update to the 1997 law making it easier for DHS to issue civil penalties, the administration said it had already issued nearly 10,000 fines. And now ICE is coming to collect. Just this week, we found two civil lawsuits filed by government attorneys in federal court, going after those two immigrants in San Francisco and San Bruno for failing to pay. According to the immigration attorneys we spoke with, it's the first time they've seen that happen.
Hola.
We tried reaching both men at their last known address, but residents there told us they no longer live there.
So two examples that you shared with me are one is for almost $300,000 and the other is $40,000, something like that. And that's a fortune. That's more than a fortune to most people.
Bill Hing teaches immigration law at the University of San Francisco. He's skeptical the government will be able to collect in most cases, but called the fines a fear tactic aimed at scaring people into self-deportation.
I actually know that is happening in some circumstances where people are giving up and they are making this hard choice of going back to a country where they also are afraid of living or living in the United States with this constant fear as well.
With ICE agents now arresting people after routine immigration hearings, many immigrants tell us they're scared to show up for court. Missed hearings can lead to automatic deportation orders, and now heavy fines. ICE did not respond to our request for comment.
Everything is attacking us from all angles so quickly, and we are trying to protect as many people as we can from this weaponized government.
Khan is now training other immigration attorneys on how to fight the new civil penalties, but said it will take a legal challenge in court to overturn the law entirely. In some, but not all of the cases, the government says it will waive the fines if immigrants self-deport. I'm Hilda Gutierrez, NBC Bay Area. We investigate.
Hilda, thank you.
I'm literally over here like falling asleep to this because I'm just hearing all of the small nuances in the grifting. Call it harsh if you want, but it finally aligns incentives. Follow the law or fund the treasury. And yes, self-departure pathways exist. Pick one. Meanwhile, crime in the capital isn't waiting for anyone's feelings. I mean, at all. Y'all see this? Let me bring it on the big screen. Boom. Almost 2,000 arrests and over 200 illegal guns seized. September 6, 2025, y'all. Pam Bondi actually tweeted this. Last night, 75 arrests were made and 11 illegal guns were taken off the streets of our nation's capital. Make D.C. safe again. Scoreboards, beats, speeches, 75 arrests, 11 illegal guns one night. If you run on safer streets, this is the report card. Keep stacking nights like that, and the residents feel it. And for anyone still peddling, they're just fruit pickers. I want you to explain this next one for me.
Nationals have been sentenced for their roles in a multi-state burglary ring that primarily targeted people of Asian descent. Prosecutors say the group used drones and GPS trackers to monitor the victims' movements. Then they robbed homes in 8 states, including New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Investigators say that in one robbery, the group stole $100,000 worth of items from a Gorham home. Jorge Andre Cardenas Murillo of Colombia was sentenced to 4 years in prison. An immigration detainer has also been issued against him. Meanwhile, Mohammed Islam of Bangladesh has been sentenced to 33 months in prison. Nationals
Wow. Targeting Asian households across 8 states with drones and trackers. Justice served. Multi-year sentences and immigration hold. Bad. Compassion doesn't mean blindness. It means protecting the very immigrant families who came here legally and being preyed upon. And if you think federal facilities are your content backdrop, learn the statute numbers the hard way, y'all.
He did nothing wrong.
This is the drone operator. Federal property and airspace. Launch your playground, man.
The drone is in public. The drone is in public. What the fuck is wrong with you? The drone's literally on public property. It's not flying over here.
You are going to go down for this! Walk backwards, you fucking untrained cars! Fucking dumbasses! I'm in drone! I'm drone! Get your fucking shit! Oh yeah, you lost your fucking shit! That's right! That's right!
That's where you fucking belong, bitch, in your own cage.
Fuck y'all!
They are mad. You seen them, they were mad. There are rules, penalties, and jail time. The I'm on public property line won't be federal law, man. I'm sorry to tell you. Now, to the moral frame that gets tossed around every time enforcement works, this is where verses get cherry picked. and context get trashed. Y'all watch this.
Do you think that Jesus Christ would want ICE to raid churches and hospitals and schools? Do you think that he would support children being separated from their families? Do you think that he would turn asylum seekers away at the border? Because if you think that any of this is somehow godly, I urge you to listen to the countless verses that tell us to accept the foreigner, to not mistreat the oppressed, and to love thy neighbor, because that is our greatest commandment.
It sounds so good on the surface, right? Don't turn away asylum seekers and don't split up families. The problem is that she's pulling all of these ideas out of context. The scriptures talk very clearly about nations having boundaries and borders, and about obeying the law and submitting yourself to the authorities that God has put in place. There's a legal way to come to this country. And in fact, people who do come here from other countries legally really don't like when people come here illegally. It's not about not being compassionate to the foreigner. It's about having a nation of laws that actually protects foreigners who come here and assimilate into the American way of life by keeping them safe from those who come here illegally and do bad things.
Amen to that. Scripture says, love your neighbor and obey authority. Borders aren't hatred, they're order. Real compassion protects citizens and legal immigrants from chaos and exploitation. Media keeps obsessing over names and vibes. Results are still results, though. If renaming agencies is your crisis while enforcement dismantles criminal pipelines, you're arguing branding while the adults do the work.
So President Donald John Tavius Trump is looking to change the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War, and ICE carries out a big-ass raid. Now, before we get into this, let's look at some of the background and the reasoning from Pete Hegseth.
That this name change is not just about renaming, it's about restoring the warrior ethos, restoring victory and clarity as an end state, restoring intentionality to the use of force.
Now, do we need a name change? No. Is the name change kind of raw? Hell yeah. Can y'all imagine Don T sitting in a meeting and looking over at his secretary like, hey, give me the Department of War. Now that's gangster. I told y'all we got a gangster for a president. I don't know what to tell. My bad. Take it out my check. Now, we know how much the Democrats and the loony lefties hate name changes, which is kind of funny coming from a party who wants us to call Tom, Tina, and Linda Lurie. But all right. So I can't imagine they're going to be too keen about this name change.
I'll bring it back to stupid, I guess. It is the height of stupid politics for Donald Trump, who beat both of our old boss. I mean, who wins in the Republican primary in 2016 because he is the most anti-war person, and then drives a wedge between Hillary Clinton and some independent voters over issues of national security and war.
I want to start this by saying that for anybody to call somebody stupid after referring to Joe Biden as their old boss, I ask y'all to use your fucking brain, man. You can be anti-war and still be ready to knock a motherfucker out. It goes back to that famous speech, one of my favorite speeches. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there is one thing I can promise you, so help me God.
Come on now.
Someone else will raise your sons and daughters. That shit right there embodies who we are as a military. We don't want any issues, but if you play with us, we'll bury you where you fucking stand. So on that front, this is a yes for me.
I guess I've read where he thinks that it makes our military look tougher, but let me tell you, a name change has nothing to do with the strength of our military.
No, the little old man from Up, a name change does not make our military tough. Our military's already tough. But a name change marks a turning point.
Yes, it does.
Fuck around and find out era is back. And once again, if you want your Get in the Trunk shirt, make sure y'all go to AmericanLichter.com. Get you one. It's live.
Now say 475 people were apprehended at that Hyundai plant yesterday. Most of them are Korean nationals. Now, the raid itself is the biggest single-site operation in the history of Homeland Security investigations.
475 workers apprehended, and most of them are Korean nationals. All I can say to this is a job well done. But the kicker to this, that battery plant was damn near operated by all illegal immigrants. They spent $5 billion building that facility. Who is they? When we say they, we talking about the Biden administration. And the funniest shit about the $5 billion that was used to create that facility is it was to bring back American jobs. So if that was your goal, Sleepy Joe, you failed again. And as always, love, peace, and chicken grease. I'm gonna get out of here, man.
I mean, emotion sells headlines, outcomes change neighborhoods. Cities can stack salt trucks or slogans, but the receipts, they didn't blink. Investigations, fines, arrests, and convictions. Pick your side, optics or order. If your mayor blocks agents with snowplows, say so below. And timestamp the clip that ended the debate for you, rather. Then send this to a friend who still thinks this is just politics. Look, let me see what we're going to put at the end of this one today. I usually have some. Don't blink. That's what we're going to put at the end. If you made it to the end of the video today, put don't blink in the comments. Y'all be safe. Please go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.